Are you your parent's parent? This video will explore what parentification is, how it affects us, and then of course we'll end by beginning to heal. So what is parentification? You could think of parentification like a role reversal that happens unconsciously and involves a child becoming responsible to meet the needs of the parent, oftentimes around emotional support, where the child is consistently relied on to care for or to provide emotional support to their parent. How does it affect us? Parentification involves a dynamic that models or teaches us that love involves us pushing down, suppressing, or ignoring our needs in order to care for someone else. And the more consistently this dynamic occurs, the more we experience difficulties, or we might not even have boundaries at all, meaning we don't have limits. We continue to push ourselves beyond what is reasonably possible for us. Again, all in service of someone else and of their needs. A lot of times this shifts into the habit that we commonly know as people pleasing, where we're showing up for the world around us, again, minimizing, denying, avoiding, ignoring our own needs. It can also result in a difficulty identifying or expressing our emotions. And then again, as a result, we can't tolerate stress. We don't have any ability to cope. And sometimes we end up relying on dysfunctional coping habits like numbing, like substance use, all ways, again, as our best attempt to deal with or to regulate our overwhelming emotions. So how can we begin to heal? We first have to make a small daily promise to ourselves to begin to meet our needs, which for a lot of us means practicing first, identifying what it is that we might need in a given moment. Without having had a parent to model us that, we need to teach ourselves how to be that parent for ourselves. So what does this actually look like? This might look like pausing to ask yourself, what do I need right now? And practicing compassion if you don't yet know the answer. If you're not having a habit of asking yourself this question, chances are you're going to need to explore what it is you could need. It also looks like practicing limits. If you don't have boundaries or if you've overstepped them to show up in service of others, healing means creating new limits for yourself by saying no when no is what you mean. This, for a lot of us, is a lifelong pattern that started in childhood. So practicing compassion along the way as we hit pause to begin to ask ourselves what it is we need is how we can begin this journey. I'd love to hear from you listening. Have you experienced parentification in childhood? And if so, what was that like? How is it for you now? And sharing a little bit about your journey to change. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.